In the beginning, you wasted hours a day, getting lost in the ever-increasing sense of wonder and adventure, waiting to see what's over every rock, under every crevice, or around the next corner. If there was a quest to do, you went for it, curious with what secrets it entailed to broaden your understanding of the world in front of you. But before long, that quest log increased, and before you knew it, so did the demands of a journey that was saturated with the wonders of the unknown. What felt like fun, joy, and whimsy now feels like an obligation, another commitment to the already growing list of things you have to and want to do. What initially pulled you in with such an intense gravitational pull, that endless sense of wonder, curiosity, and connection, is now replaced with a sense of forced commitment. And whatever your mission was, is becoming more demanding. The question is, do you have that much to give? Are you willing to make the trade for what may or may not be on the other side? Whether it's time or money, that price, no matter how small it may seem, only increases the more you give of yourself. Like many things in this life, a wound becomes an infection if not treated. A conflict, if not at least recognized, becomes a point of tension. A system becomes so flawed that certain evils become necessary to function. Bad habits become bad habits if certain behaviors, thought processes, critical self-reflection goes unchallenged. What seems like compromises for the sake of keeping up with that commitment becomes a slippery slope of that complacency, the diluting of values once upheld, and a solidified loyalty to a part of you rather than the whole. Is this your stop? Life is already full of things we have to attend to, and so time, especially leisure, is a precious thing that we invest in the things we love and enjoy. But unlike other currencies or portfolios, once that time is invested, it can't be returned, only transformed. Whether it's pushing a boulder up a steep hill or investing in experiences, I think everyone is entitled to invest their time in whatever makes them feel fulfilled. Watching paint dry or a boat sail will look different through the eyes of another. Perhaps it's the science of buoyancy, the amazing engineering or research and development that goes into creating a sustainable form of transportation, or the thoughts and feelings that come from a shade of color. It starts with what and continues with why. When it comes to investing your time, you're only accountable to you. As much as the world likes to clamor and say you need to be doing this or that to be successful or happy, you determine what makes your moment, your day, and your life that much more fulfilling. But if you feel like your time is being poorly invested, then it's time to have a look at that balance sheet. Where did that time go? Who did you give it to? And do you feel like the return was worth it? That's not to say every investment is a waste, especially when that initial spark and flame was there. But if there's no fuel to that fire, it will die. Don't die with it. As flawed creatures, we have the habit of over and underestimating our power of influence and agency, both as an entity or unified body. With the ability to turn a single person experience into something a community can enjoy, the ability to discuss complex topics and themes to deepen our understanding or make connections to other mediums, it's clear we have the power to slowly but surely transform the world around us, with some more influential than others. We choose what's in our wheelhouse of influence, what's on our feeds and timelines, and what we fill our lives with. We like to think our voices carry weight, that our reactions alone can spark change. But the power we wield is often limited, exercised without deeper thought, and disconnected from the larger systems at play. Some things won't change, not because no one speaks up, but because the business or the broader community's values simply move in a different direction. There's a difference between making various attempts of changing the situation and trying to push a square peg in a round hole. Some things are beyond our control, and the more we persist in our endeavor in trying to fight the powers that be, the higher chance the problem evolves from a focus of outside influences to our fixation of wanting those outside influences to change to our subjective lens of what we think reality should be like. Like water flowing downstream, it would take the path of least resistance. Much like it's easier to want things and factors outside of ourselves to change rather than highlighting our own agency to change those factors. And it can be threatening in a way, realizing that the next move is your move, forcing you to make a choice you would rather not have to make. The truth is that we only have absolute power and influence over ourselves. In a world where choice is in high demand, we have the option and agency to choose better for ourselves, not for other people, not for a community, and not for some agenda. In the end of it all, you will bear the consequences of what you do, action or inaction. Knowing when to move on not only highlights and strengthens our sense of agency, but it's a manifestation of our maturity and growth, realizing that this is just one of the many stops of the journey to our destination. Much like the power of a person, the power of their words stir up feelings and inspires action. Online forums and threads have taken the place of in-person interactions where words can inflict more harm than intended, or be the breeding ground of those looking to cause war, confusion, or push a narrative. It hurts to have your initial impression of what you thought a community was and what it is be different. It's the cost of having a low barrier of entry sometimes. Your voice will be hoarse, calling for change, but remember, you can only bring it to water. Sometimes it isn't the activity itself that drives people away, it's the environment around it. The attitudes, the unspoken rules, the constant undercurrent of conflict. What once felt like belonging can start to feel like an intense pressure to belong. And when the values of a community no longer align with your own, stepping back gives you the room you need to prioritize you and the things you value. Walking away doesn't mean walking alone. A true sense of belonging doesn't come from massive groups or loud communities. In fact, it can be the opposite. So many voices that yours don't stand out or only does so by pure chance. Sometimes the best spaces are the ones that we create ourselves. A small circle of people who share our joy, our curiosity, or just the desire to be understood. Intimate communities doesn't need numbers to have meaning. They thrive on trust, on care, and on the freedom to share without judgment. For some, leaving the crowd isn't the end of belonging. Rather, I would say it's the beginning of something deeper.